easy workouts are absolutely still valid. Because if you choose to do 10 minutes of stretching whilst you boil a pot of pasta on the hob, that's 10 minutes of stretching. Yes, I know you've not gone to the gym and done your 50 minutes on a treadmill or your strength weightlifting session, or you've not gone to your Zumba class, but what you have done is some stretching for 10 minutes when you weren't going to do anything. Welcome to the Not So Typical Fitness podcast, the place for people with bodies and brains that don't fit the usual mould to come together and be a part of a community. I'm your host, Rhiannon, and today we are tackling a phrase that has honestly done more harm than good. Yeah, you've guessed it. It is all about no pain, no gain. So just think about this for a minute. I'm sure you've heard of that before. No pain, no gain. Because it is a statement or a sentence that we've grown up seeing on gym walls, in workout videos. It might be on clothing. It's a common phrase that we hear. We might even hear it shouted during a exercise class in some kind of twisted motivational attempt to get people to work harder. But the thing is, if you have ADHD or autism or chronic pain or anxiety, or you just have a brain that works a bit differently to the norm, when you hear the phrase no pain, no gain, and the pressure and expectation that comes with that, it can almost be paralyzing. It's like a paralyzing mindset. So what about if fitness isn't or wasn't about pushing past pain, but actually tuning into your body? That's what I want to talk about today. Because what if, quote unquote, working hard didn't mean destroying yourself? And it didn't mean pushing yourself to the point of burnout or overwhelm or shutdown. Because actually, for someone neurodivergent, hearing no pain, no gain might make them push to that point, which is not a healthy place to be. Being fit, yes, it's about your body being fit, but there's also about being fit in your mind and your mental health. And no pain, no gain just doesn't work for everyone. So what if working hard doesn't mean destroying yourself or pushing yourself to the brink of failure? What I want to talk about is how to tell the difference between discomfort and danger. And I don't just mean in a physical sense, but also in that mental sense with no pain, no gain. I'm also going to talk about why easy workouts are still valid, because trust me, they are. We don't have to be thrashing ourselves every day to be prioritizing our health. And I'm going to talk to you about my own turning point. And when I stopped chasing this idea of pushing myself all the time and started finding strength in my way, in a way that works for me. So how do we tell the difference between discomfort and danger? Discomfort is a part of our growth. I have discussed this on the podcast before about how we have comfort zones, and the only way we can grow our comfort zone is to experience slight discomfort. It's to stretch our comfort zone in ways that feel safe to us. Danger is beyond that discomfort, and that really is your body saying stop. The tricky part, especially for neurodivergent people, is being able to interpret those signals accurately. So here is how I break it down. So discomfort feels like muscles working hard. It could be a slight burning feeling during exercise. It might be feeling breathless during cardio, but not breathless to the point where you can't talk, and not breathless to the point where you can't communicate. It might only be that you can talk in short sentences. That's discomfort. That's not danger. Discomfort could be a manageable challenge. So it should be something where you still have the choice to continue doing the thing you're doing. And danger is when that choice is taken away from you because you cannot stop where your body has gone. So if we go back to feeling breathless, it might be that you start gasping for air and you can't catch your breath. That is danger. So danger can feel like a sharp, stabbing or sudden type of pain, and that would be especially in your joints. So when it's muscular, that can be an ache or a slight pull, slight burning, but joint pain hurts. That is the difference. It could be that you're feeling dizzy, you're feeling nauseous, like you might vomit. It might be that you feel like you might pass out. Danger would be things like a tingling or numbness, or anything that sort of feels off and not related to the amount of effort you're putting in. I think it's important as well to consider that danger can also be panic or sensory overwhelm. That is so intense that you cannot concentrate or communicate. And that, for a neurodivergent person, for an anxious person, for somebody struggling with their mental health, can be just as debilitating as a sharp stabbing or sudden pain in a joint. Because when you get to that place, you cannot just come back from it. You have to then deal with that. So discomfort is turning the volume up on your radio in your car, a bit louder than you'd like it. It's the sort of level where you need to turn it back down to park, because we all know that you need quiet to park, right? That's the thing. That would be your discomfort. Danger would be turning that sound up so high, so quickly, that it blows that speaker. And that speaker is broken. Use that analogy. If it's something that you can still control and you can turn it back down, you're likely just experiencing discomfort. If you are at a point where you are in extreme pain, you cannot catch your breath, you are overwhelmed beyond that point, that's danger. Now remember, any exercise you are doing, whether you're doing it in a gym, out and about, whether you're walking up the road, walking the dog, whatever you are doing, first of all, you can always stop. Whether you are in danger or just uncomfortable, you should always feel able to stop. If you're in a personal training session, if you're in a group fitness class and you can't do it and you're reaching that point where discomfort is going to become danger, stop. Just stop, breathe, and check in with yourself. And if you're with an instructor, flag them down or just tell them you need to take a break. Because that is absolutely fine. And you're not failing by taking that break. What you're actually doing is practicing body awareness. And sometimes health and fitness is actually about being able to identify what you're feeling and what steps you need to take, because you can become more aware of your body and aware when you're moving from that threshold of discomfort. Because let's be honest, fitness and exercise and health, it can be quite uncomfortable because we are mentally putting ourselves in places we might not want to be, like a gym or an exercise class. We are physically pushing our body, not to the point of danger. But fitness and health can just be about this connection that you are experiencing with your body and learning to listen to your body. This is an important one. Why are easy workouts still valid? I talk about this a lot on social media about how health and fitness isn't always about going to the gym. Health and fitness can look different for everybody. So I'm of the mindset that as long as you're moving your body more, then you are prioritizing your health. And I think especially people who are neurodivergent like me, we get accused of being lazy a lot. Now, one of my last episodes was about executive dysfunction, and I'll link to that in the show notes as well. That's not laziness. That is an inability to do the thing. And I think when you are choosing an easier workout, you will know yourself that it's not laziness. I don't know if I actually am ever lazy, ever, or whether all the things that I don't do or can't do are actually more of a sign of my executive functioning skills or lack thereof. I'm not saying all neurodivergent people aren't lazy. I'm sure some of them are. But my experience is just that usually we want to do these things. And if you're listening to this podcast, you want to prioritize your health in a way that works for you. You want to get fitter. I doubt that you're being lazy if you choose not to go to the gym. Now, if you want to, you can skip the gym whenever you want. You can skip a workout whenever you want. There's no hard and fast rule. You will know the more you move your body, the healthier choices you make with your nutrition, the quicker you're going to get to your goal. Whatever your goal is, whether it's building muscle, whether it is weight gain, weight loss, whatever you are doing, you know that there's a correlation between the amount you do and the amount of progress. You can, by all means, skip a workout, but if you just choose to skip a workout and then skip a workout and then skip a workout, what you're actually going to be doing is not prioritizing your health at all. And so what I think is important to remind yourself is that easy workouts are absolutely still valid. Because if you choose to do 10 minutes of stretching whilst you boil a pot of pasta on the hob, that's 10 minutes of stretching. Yes, I know you've not gone to the gym and done your 50 minutes on a treadmill or your strength weightlifting session, or you've not gone to your Zumba class, but what you have done is some stretching for 10 minutes when you weren't going to do anything. So think about that. Don't beat yourself up over being lazy, because I don't think that you are, or over skipping a workout. Try and see if there's something else you can do that is just way easier for you and where you're at the moment. Because easy workouts are so much more gentle on your nervous system. And think about when you're in burnout. Think about when you are on your period or after a really bad sleep. By choosing to do an easier workout, you are actually doing a workout rather than missing it altogether. Now, if you are opting for an easier workout because of any physical or mental health and well-being issues, you're then more likely to show up again tomorrow if today didn't actually wreck you and push you to that point of no return. And also consider this about recovery and mobility. Easier workouts will often be things like yoga, Pilates, walking. I'm not going to lie, these things can also be quite intense workouts depending on how you do them and where you do them. But recovery and mobility, these are two things that will make you stronger long term. I always say to my clients, if we have a really heavy session at the gym and they ache the next day, have an active recovery day. So go for a walk, do some stretching. Technically, those are easy workouts, but they're so important for you feeling ready to go the next time. Some of the most important workouts I've ever done is walking for 10 minutes whilst being overstimulated. It is stretching just whilst the kettle's boiling because mentally I am just stuck in this awful headspace. And lifting weights when my anxiety was just through the roof, just showing up and doing one set. I've done that before. I've done one set on a leg press, but I was so overwhelmed I had to leave. But I did that one set. It's about celebrating those small wins as well. Easy sessions can make the difference to you building a habit and then making a long-term commitment to prioritizing your health in the gym. I used to believe that if I wasn't gasping for breath or really achy the next day, my workout didn't count. But what I noticed was that by having that mindset, it didn't actually make me fitter. It just made me resentful. It would make me crash and binge and cry and quit over and over. I always felt like I wasn't good enough and I didn't belong. I think my turning point came when I stopped asking things like, what will burn the most calories? And started asking, what will help me show up again tomorrow? And honestly, that was the difference. So that is when movement becomes something that you can look forward to. And for me, it was when I stopped fearing off days because I used to be all or nothing. When my gym work would slip, my nutrition would slip. And when my nutrition would slip, my gym attendance would slip. But actually, by listening to myself and understanding it doesn't need to be all or nothing. And I think just changing that mindset and realizing that when my health and fitness doesn't look like someone else's version of health and fitness, that's not a problem. It doesn't mean that my own journey isn't as valid or important. And actually, I can do it the way that works for me. Because strength isn't just about pushing through pain. It's about listening. It's about adjusting, trusting, and showing up your way. I truly believe that fitness is about finding strength in who you are. Fitness doesn't have to hurt. This episode is all about ditching the no pain, no gain mentality. I want you to have a think about if you have ever pushed through a workout when your body was clearly saying no. And what did you learn from that? And have a little think, because I would probably say that you knew that by pushing it, you were going to enter a zone of danger. But because of this idea that we have to continue pushing ourselves, you probably would have felt like a failure if you stopped, so you chose to continue. So when you think about that, could you have identified that point at which if you had just listened to your body, you could have adjusted and amended your own workout to not reach that point? Remember, my tip is when in doubt, just stop, breathe, and check in with yourself. Remember, you're not weak for listening to your body. You're actually wise, and you are so much wiser than other people who just push through and don't listen. Let us kill another gym myth while we're at it. If it's not intense, it doesn't count. Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. So let me say it louder for the overwhelmed, tired, sensory sensitive people in the back. Easy workouts are still workouts. And this is because they are less demanding on your nervous system. They allow you to stay consistent even on those hard days, and they are perfect for recovery. And recovery is a part of training. You see different influencers talk about how they struggle with a rest day. Those rest days are recovery days, and you need to do them in order to see progress in the gym. What does an easy win look like for you on a tough day? And how can you give yourself permission to celebrate it? Rather than beating yourself up because you missed your workout, what can you do or say or tell yourself to remind yourself that it's okay? So can you remember a time when you redefined what progress looks like for you? And what did that feel like? If you want to share it with me, I would love that, because I think we need to start recognizing that progress looks different for everyone, and it can feel different as well. If this episode resonated, I want you to do something kind for your body this week. Not punishing, not extreme, just kind. But I mean, I want to go and get a piercing, which some people would say is punishing and is extreme. But you do you. I just want you to think that I just want you to treat yourself with some kindness. And that doesn't mean that you failed, because we're still going to be prioritizing our health and fitness. It's just about doing it in a way that feels manageable for you. And look, if you're still listening and thinking, this is the first time I have felt seen in fitness, then great, because I made this podcast for you. You are the people that I want to help and support on their own fitness journey. I would love it if you joined my free Not So Typical Fitness community over on Heartbeat, and I will pop the join up link in the show notes. And I'd also love it if you left me a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, because that is really going to help me reach more and more people who need a break from toxic gym cultures and this hustle culture. Now, if this resonates with you, I'd like you to share it with somebody who needs permission to slow down. And remember that growth doesn't need to scream and be massive. Sometimes it whispers. That's what I want you to take away from this episode today. So until next time, show up, stay you, and keep moving in a way that works for you, and just keep making small steps, because honestly, those small steps will add up so much over time.